like that.
All right, I'll take you to register.
A Rickie special,
Yes.
long iron, higher peak trajectory.
Yes. Bigger club head, deeper, lower CG.
So this is for the player that just wants to flex to their friends and say they can hit a 7-iron as far as they can.
This is for the golfer that wants to hit it as far as Bryson.
Okay. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Kerrod Gray here today with Brandon, the head club fitter at Cobra Puma Golf here in Carlsbad, California. Brandon, thanks for coming along, mate. Today we're going to be working through my golf bag. I'm excited to see what sort of goods Brandon can serve up for me. We're going to be adjusting, modifying to see how much I can actually get out of what I've got at the moment. Brandon works with all the top players signed to Cobra Puma throughout the world, so I'm excited to get stuck in. You don't want to miss this one. Okay, so we've got the soon-to-be released distance variant of this.
Correct.
So this is for the player that just wants to flex to their friends and say they can hit a 7-iron as far as they can.
This is for the golfer that wants to hit it as far as Bryson.
Okay. So my stock 7-iron with the blade, which the MB, which is what I use, what is that going?
So stock before the shaft adjustment or after the shaft adjustment?
Let's say with the new and improved version.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with the shaft adjustment, we are looking at 189 yard 7-iron.
Okay.
With the unreleased club, we're looking at 204.
Yeah.
With the distance variant, we'll be looking even further.
Let's see.
And again, same shaft, same length, same lie.
So just the head difference.
Yes. So that is 140 ball speed.
Which is nearly 20 mile per hour more than my original blade and head.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
217 yard 7-iron.
Okay. So I just need wedges, pitching 987 driver.
Yeah, we essentially need to pick up 5 wedges.
217. All right, let's try and get 220. That's got to be close.
Yeah. 141 ball speed. Vertical swing plane 55, so spot on. Spin rate, again, being slightly stronger. That was 223 yard 7-iron.
223.
Yes.
One more for good measure to see if I can go any further.
And that is 60-degree sea level, no golf course conditions. .142 ball speed again. The interesting part about this iron is your peak height is still at 100 feet in the air.
Yeah.
And the landing angle is 46.
Yeah.
So we went from 51 with your current to 48, 49 with the non-distance variant. Now we're still playable at 45 to 46. And that was slightly low face and it was 215 yards.
Oh, amazing, amazing. Feels great, very responsive, goes a long way.
Yeah.
Perfect club for a lot of people.
When we do like design review stuff, we take a lot of feedback from the field, from our tour players, from our better players on what they like and dislike. It could be as simple as I prefer more of a belly on my wedge.
Yeah.
Or I prefer a blunted leading edge on an iron, or this set that I've played for many years, I can't change out of it because I prefer just the thin difference in top line thickness compared to maybe a more recent variant of that club.
Yeah.
So a lot of feedback gets brought down from tour, from our fitters across the globe, and we try to make the next variant fit the majority of the requests and needs that the golfers are looking for.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. So this is just a variant which is not released.
Correct.
And we're just gonna have a feel of this relative to the MBs that I was
Correct.
just hitting.
So we're going to see a very similar ball flight window and shot shape.
Mm-hmm. So it looks a lot more rounded at the top and also around the toe area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it definitely feels like the sole's a lot thicker. And you get so used to using a blade which kind of feels like it cuts through the ground so much.
So our MB will have lower dynamic bounce.
Yeah.
This variant has higher dynamic bounce, even though the bounces are identical.
Yeah.
It's just how they are reacting to the turf.
To the ground. God, so much goes into it. Oh, what do we got here?
So, like I mentioned, we have had great success with positioning a utility shaft or a hybrid shaft into some of our long irons. So we are able to create a better player driving iron versus a hybrid or some utilities which tend to be a little more on the upright in terms of lie angle. So better players don't hit them because they tend to move more left of target for the right-handed player or right for the left-handed player.
Okay.
So this is a flat lie angle, max yardage, players, utility, kind of Frankenstein together.
Sounds. I've always loved utility irons. I've got this is one of the King utilities.
King utility.
Yeah, and this has been my favorite iron for a long time. But looks wise, clean.
Yes. And this is very similar to a trend that we're seeing on tour where, I mean, Rickie has had a 4-iron in our game improvement set in his bag with a hybrid shaft in it.
That's coming off hot.
Yes.
That is hot.
Again, this is for the player that wants an iron performance, a utility, or a hybrid ball speed, but hits down at the golf ball.
That's what I need. Feels so good. So this is a Rickie special.
Yes.
Long iron, higher peak trajectory.
Yes. Bigger club head, deeper lower CG with a hybrid shaft.
Wow.
So it's going to play like a 7-iron.
That came off hot.
Yes.
That came off seriously hot. Felt good too. You just get so used to the feedback that you get from blades.
Yes.
And when it comes to using something like an iron, you just have an expectation based around your assumption relative to other shots that you've hit. And then when something comes off with that much speed, just like that.
It's a very different sensation.
Throw it in the bag. Throw it in the bag. What are the numbers on that?
262
Yeah. Okay.
at 97 feet in the air.
262 4-iron.
First one was 260 on the nose. It is shallower landing angle though.
Yeah.
So it is more of that long iron, advance the ball as far as possible style of golf club.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit a stinger with it.
.242 yards.
Yeah.
Knockdown,
Nice low punch up there.
low spin, knockdown, good wind club.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now for fun, I want you to hit your utility that you said you loved.
How many years old is this club now? It's quite a few, right?
That is going on 4 years.
Yeah. It's been in my bag all that time.
And each year or each variant of that club, we learn more and more.
Feels like it's gone about 3/4 the distance. And so I'm assuming based on what we were talking about with the irons, it's just not the right shaft for me. Yeah.
Correct. So that is, again, deflecting too much. dynamic loft is too high, spin is too high, you're getting a club that goes 235 yards.
Yeah. Oh,
And that was hit about as good as
yeah,
you can hit that.
Yeah, it felt good. Current driver.
And that is a Rad Speed 9 degree.
It's a Rad
with
Speed.
the RDX Blue 6.0 or 6.5, 60 gram.
Yeah, 60 gram.
And it looks like you play front weight.
What was that, sorry?
You play the front weight?
Correct.
Okay. Pretty standard ball flight there.
Yeah, that was very, very, very typical.
Okay.
Very typical. Quick and pulley.
So very first thing I notice, shaft's too long.
Too long?
Too long.
Yeah.
So when a shaft gets too long, the club gets stuck in the downswing behind you, which leads to high dynamic loft, high right, or hands recover.
Correct.
And it goes low left.
Yeah.
So that is actually one of the reasons why like Rickie plays something substantially shorter.
Yeah.
And it's also the reason why tour average is still 44.5 inches.
Yeah.
Yet the average length of a driver in a pro shop today is 46.
46. And some manufacturers are continuing to even stretch that, isn't it?
Until the USGA steps in.
Yeah.
So again, club is coming in at 40 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
It should be 45 degrees.
Yeah.
So the very first thing that I would do in a fitting would be to give you something shorter in shaft length.
Okay.
That's 45.25, being that there's no Arcos on it.
Yeah.
So I would drop you down to 44.75 to start.
Okay.
That should get you back into the 44 to 46 degree realm, which will alleviate a two-way miss. And then we need to talk about weighting. Being that you hit up on the ball, having mass forward, yes, it bumps ball speed, but it also causes greater inconsistencies.
What's my angle of attack there?
1.3 up.
Let's see if I can find the planet. It's better.
So that was dead neutral.
That was good.
Neutral.
Yeah.
But when you hit up on the ball and you have mass forward, occasionally for someone that's up on the golf ball, it will actually produce greater spin. So you will actually want to play the mass further away from the face to bump the moment of inertia and actually to have the CG as far away from the face as possible.
Okay.
So depending on if you're a trapper or if you hit up on it, that could be the difference between weight positions and what works best for the player.
Yeah.
So let me build you something a little bit shorter. So this is 44.75 instead of 45.25. So you notice a difference in launch right away.
Oh yeah, that's a lot higher. Yeah.
That's 45.2 degrees of vertical swing plane. Launch angle went from 9 degrees to 13 degrees.
Okay.
And your spin dropped to 2,000 RPMs.
Much higher launch. And the spin's still staying low.
Same shaft, different length.
Different length.
Yep.
And head weighting is?
Head weighting's exactly the same.
Yeah.
I made sure to match the head weights.
Okay.
In our LTD line of products, we have some new features, including the power core, which is on the bottom, which is going to be this weight pad here. Mm-hmm. This is essentially like your Rad Speed in terms of weighting, but then we're able to save mass and position in the back to increase moment of inertia. Okay. Last ball, 12.5 launch, 2,300, 302.
302.
168 ball speed.
What was the club speed on it?
115. Just a little toeward.
A bit of a slip.
Mm-hmm. And that's also the first swing down on the golf ball, which would be the slip. Beautiful.
That was amazing.
12.5 launch. Based on ball flight, spin should be 21, 2200, 2211 for 313 total.
Yeah, I felt
Increase ball speed, decrease the spin rate, launch angles up 2 degrees, and the peak height is right at 100 feet.
it's
a different
I'm
window.
not used to seeing that launch.
Yeah.
But whenever I see that launch with my current driver, it's gone. It's
Spinning.
gone. It's a reload.
Yes.
That's it, Brandon, right there.
We can do a little better.
That's what I like to hear.
Launch is good, 13.
That felt great off the face.
Spin, 2200 again. Peak height, 110. What I am going to do is I'm going to change club heads, see if I can get you a little more ball speed, and change out the shaft to just flatten it out a smidge more.
Great, that's it. So different head, different shaft.
Yes, I'm looking for a little bit of fade correction, but also something that's going to pump out a little bit more ball speed.
Like that?
All right, I'll take you to register. 170 ball speed, 11.3 launch, and 1998 spin
Knocked it out
at 90 feet in the air.
at 90 feet. But that went relatively straight to the feel that I would normally get if I hit that shot.
Yeah. Ball speed up 4 miles an hour. Spin rate almost identical. Launch 12 degrees.
Shaft feels great. Head feels great. So how is this different from my previous shaft?
A little bit more expensive exotic materials used in it.
Okay.
It in our testing, it's a very fast ball speed shaft for a club head.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the RDX is not. It's just for you, this is a similar EI profile to the iron shaft that I put you into.
Okay.
So
okay.
it's going to blend and mesh really well.
Yeah. That's the miss. Not too far off the planet though. I've
No.
certainly had some worse ones.
Path was just a little bit left.
Path was left.
Yes. Beautiful shot.
Oh, it feels good. I'd be super stoked with that flight and that feel.
12 launch, 2200 spin at 169.5 ball speed.
It's amazing how quickly, I suppose you do this all the time, it's your job, right?
Yes.
But then, just from the questions, looking at the numbers, doing static fits and just looking at a piece of paper and going, I think that should fit me because it's got that profile of shaft. You can see how important it is to put all the elements together.
Correct.
Yeah. Love it. My current fairway is a little bit more of an off the tee. I've got a few different, like I've got the tour models and then the normal one. I played around a little bit with it, but to be honest, I just never feel like the shaft was, and it was only because I was fitting it myself.
Yeah.
I never felt like the shaft was that good, but this would be like a second shot into a par 5, want the landing angle to assist in getting the ball a little bit closer, because other than that, off the tee box, I just use a driving iron.
Yeah.
If I'm not using driver. Just like that. That is what I need.
14 launch,
Yeah.
158 ball speed. Spin rate should be low threes. 29.45. There's your 270 yard fairway wood. 276.
So what model is this?
That is going to be our LTD X fairway wood, which is our back weighted. I picked this club head because you said you rarely ever hit it off of a tee.
Ever, yeah.
And you want something that's going to launch high and land easily on the green. I'm not saying you can't hit this off the tee, but having a back weighted fairway wood will always launch a little bit higher, so it's easier to elevate off the ground. The shaft that is in it is a tour favorite, which is a higher launch variant of the driver shaft that you hit before.
Okay.
So it's a perfect combination in a fairway wood.
Yeah. Love it. Comes off so hot.
159 ball speed. 11 to launch, 2940 spin, 276.
This just reaffirms to me that I had no idea about club fitting when I was doing it myself.
I would say you did a pretty good job.
Pretty good.
Pretty good job.
Pretty, but when I hit the difference between them, the feel, the launch, the spin, and just the overall net result just seems profound, like with the little adjustments.
Yes.
Yeah. Perfect. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.